What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest robot vacuums from Ecovacs. This is also one of the most advanced robot vacuums available on the market. So what we have here today, it's called the Ecovacs Deebot X2 Omni. Now in the box you're gonna find the vacuum, so the vacuum that you're seeing right here, but you're also gonna find the self-emptying and the self-cleaning station for the robot vacuum. Now that's a bit too big to have right here next to me, but that definitely comes in the box and that plays a big role in the overall experience with this vacuum. So the base or the self-emptying station has a 3-liter dust bag, so all the dust that we have inside the robot vacuum, inside the dustbin in the robot vacuum, will be emptied out in there. This is done automatically, so you don't actually have to do any of that yourself. Just below that we have the mop washing station. So the mop washing station will wash the mop pads at the bottom of the vacuum throughout a cleaning cycle with 55 degrees hot water, and it will also wash them and dry them at the end of a cleaning cycle. So basically the robot, together with the self-emptying and the self-cleaning station, do everything by themselves without you having to do anything. Another very interesting and very useful feature for this robot vacuum is its ability to lift up the mop pads whenever it comes across carpets. So if the robot here is on a mopping cycle, for example, and it comes across a carpet, so first of all it has a sensor at the bottom here that will detect any carpets. So if it comes across any carpets, it will lift up the mop pads, and this way the carpet is not gonna get wet from the mop pads. So very cool feature to have, because I did try many other robot vacuums in the past that don't have this ability. So this makes a big difference whenever this goes around cleaning your house. The mops also spin at 180 RPM and apply 6 newtons of pressure to the ground, so the vacuum will be able to remove all stains from the ground without any issues. Now, you've probably noticed by now that this vacuum doesn't look like your regular round robot vacuums. So the round robot vacuums that we've been seeing for the last few years. So this one we get a more square shape, I'm gonna say. So that makes a big difference whenever the vacuum cleans in corners. So this way the vacuum can actually reach those corners where round vacuums could not reach those corners. It also doesn't have a LiDAR navigation tower like most robot vacuums out there, because you typically see those at the top of the vacuums here. Well, with this one we don't get that. That's actually on a corner, but that means that the vacuum is much shorter. The height of the vacuum is much shorter, so now the vacuum can actually go under a lot of furniture where other vacuums that have the LiDAR tower at the top cannot get to. So this will be able to go under couches easier, under chairs and so on. So again, with that square shape and that very low profile, we'll be able to reach places that most vacuums cannot. Another design difference when compared to other robot vacuums available on the market is how much longer the brush at the bottom here is in comparison to other vacuums, of course, and the crazy suction power that we get from this vacuum. So this vacuum has an 8000 PA suction power. So wherever it goes over, it will pick up immediately. So it has an insane amount of power whenever it's vacuuming. Talking about differences when compared to other robot vacuums available on the market, inside this we also have a small water bin that will keep the mop pads wet throughout the cleaning cycle. So even if the vacuum doesn't go back to wash the mop pads, it still has water inside, so those mop pads will stay wet throughout the cleaning cycle, so very important. The dual LiDAR navigation system is located in the left corner of the bumper here. So of course, like most vacuums, we do have a bumper. The bumper does have a rubber strip around here, so even if this touches your furniture, it will not damage your furniture. The vacuum also uses AI obstacle avoidance. So on the front here we do have some cameras, and the vacuum will be able to avoid any objects on the floor. So let's say that you have some small toys on the floor, you have some socks that you forgot or anything like that. Well, the vacuum is not gonna go over those and run those over. Basically, it will go around them. So it is very smart at avoiding obstacles that you have on the floor. There is also a feature in the app that I've seen that's great for dog owners. So let's say that there is some poop on the floor from your pet. Well, the vacuum will avoid that as well, which is very important because I heard some stories where the vacuum kind of goes in that and spreads it all around. So that will not be the case with this device right here. Like most robot vacuums out there, the vacuum is also equipped with a variety of sensors at the bottom. So if you do have stairs around the house, do not worry, the vacuum will not fall down the stairs. So it's using all those sensors so it doesn't fall down those stairs. And very importantly, it can also climb 2.2 centimeters. So let's say that one of your rooms is a bit higher or the vacuum has to go over an edge. No problem whatsoever with this particular vacuum. And I did try it here at home because our bathroom is slightly higher than the rest of the floor. So no problem climbing that. The 6400 milliamp hour battery inside the vacuum will keep this going for up to 210 minutes, so it shouldn't have any issues completing most cleaning tasks out there. Now, if the vacuum does run out of power throughout a cleaning cycle, it will go back to its charging station or the cleaning station, depending how you want to call it. It will recharge, and whenever it's done recharging or gets to about 50%, it will go back and complete the cleaning task. So of course this knows how to go back to the docking station whenever it needs to wash those mop pads, or whenever it's needing a charge or anything like that, or whenever it's done a cleaning cycle. And believe it or not, there is more. So the camera that we have on the front here, you can actually see everything that the vacuum sees through the Ecovacs app. So you can actually send this from room to room, so you can actually see what the vacuum sees. So you can kind of use that as a security camera if you're not home, if you have pets, so you can keep track of your pets and so on. So you can also do that with this vacuum. This is a feature that you don't typically see from many other vacuums. A lot of vacuums do have cameras, but they cannot be used for basically video streaming. And since we are talking about the app, let me quickly show you how the app works. I've actually been using this app for quite some time because I have another Ecovacs vacuum that I use in a different place. So I've been using this app for quite some time. So from the main page there, well, the second main page, there you can basically see the map that the vacuum generated. Since we have that dual LiDAR navigation system, it will generate a really good map of your house basically, or the space where the vacuum is located. It can also generate 3D maps, so you can actually see what you have around the house there in those 3D maps. The vacuum knows exactly where it has to go, exactly where it has been, and so on. So with this kind of a mapping system, the vacuum will never get lost. The vacuum can also generate multiple maps. So let's say that you have a house that has multiple floors. It can generate multiple maps and save those maps. Of course, you can edit those maps. You can set schedules for the vacuum, so you can have the vacuum cleaning whenever you're not home. Since it's using AI, it can also do all the cleaning all by itself. So you don't actually have to do anything. The vacuum can just go vacuum, mop, and then it will clean itself out as well. So the app there has a lot of features. You can set, for example, the suction level for the vacuum. Personally, I just use it at the maximum suction power because why not? Since we have all that power, we might as well use it. You can also set how wet the floor should be. So it depends on the flooring that you have. Some may not be that great if they're too wet. So everything about this vacuum is customizable. Let's say for a second that you spilled something on the floor. This is just an example. You can quickly take that map out. You basically make an area that the vacuum should clean, and the vacuum will go clean just that area. So everything through the app is basically customizable, and the vacuum can do anything you want. And there is more. The vacuum even accepts voice commands. So this vacuum gets Eco Voice 2.0. So this is a bit different from my old Ecovacs vacuum that I'm using. So now it can understand more things. So basically you can tell the vacuum to just go clean the kitchen or do this or that. So there are a lot of commands that are available, and the vacuum actually has 3 built-in microphones. So you can talk to it from different places and the vacuum will just go do whatever you say. And this is just a quick example so you can see how that works. Okay, Eco.
I'm here.
Vacuum the kitchen.
Okay, the area will be vacuumed now.
One thing I didn't really go over was our docking station, or the base, let's call it the base. So at the top of that, if you open the lid, we basically have 2 containers. One container for clean water, so you're gonna have to fill that up with clean water. Another container that has the dirty water, so basically all the water from the mops that gets washed goes in that container there. And if you do check that, you will see how dirty that water is. So we all need a vacuum like this to wash our floors because our floors are a bit dirtier than we imagine. So with those containers at the top, just below that we have that 3-liter dust bag that I mentioned earlier, and below that we have the mopping washing station, let's call it. That also has a removable part, so you can easily remove that and clean it, so you can wash it. So I guess it makes sense because you don't want that to stay dirty. So to quickly conclude this video, my experience with this vacuum after using it for a couple of weeks has been really great, and the house has been the cleanest it's ever been. So here we have a combination of hard floors and carpets. As I mentioned earlier, the vacuum will lift up those mops whenever it gets to carpets, so the carpets never get wet. If you do have obstacle on the floors, here we basically have dog toys on the floor, so the vacuum will always go around those, so that's definitely great. When it goes over carpets, it will pick up everything from the carpets. Here we do have a dog that has a lot of hair everywhere, so the vacuum has to do some extra work to pick up that hair, but no problem whatsoever because we do have a lot of suction power. So typically if the vacuum goes over an area, it will pick up anything from the floor. Now for stains, we don't really have a lot of stains around here, but since we have those mops that spin pretty fast and also apply pressure to the ground, the mopping is done really good as well. So overall, if you're looking for a vacuum where you don't really have to do much because the vacuum pretty much does everything for you, this is definitely a great investment, and it will keep your house much cleaner. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.